Welcome to another edition of Lone Star Conference All Access. I'm Travis Whipple, joined by Commissioner Stan Wagnon. And Commissioner, we talked earlier this week, NCAA convention, and as part of that, the LSC hosted some important meetings as well. And so, starting with determination of a champion, a little bit of a shift for the Lone Star Conference coming up.
That's right, Travis. We met with athletic administrators on Thursday, and then our presidents have one of their annual meetings on the Friday of convention week. And a big topic for the conference this past 6 or 8 months has been, how do we go about determining the Lone Star Conference champion in the various sports? Our basketball coaches last spring said, now that we've shifted and we're not playing a divisional schedule and every team gets to play home and away against every opponent in the conference, let's recognize the team that emerges from that schedule with the best record as the Lone Star Conference champion, and then use the tournament to identify who the tournament champion is, but also to provide an opportunity if someone does get hot and wins those last 3 games, they can play their way into the NCAA tournament, earn that automatic bid. And so it's kind of a shift in the way we look at things, and really trying to recognize and honor the significant amount of achievement it takes to emerge as the regular season champion. So basketball made that decision last spring. Over the last 6 months, we've polled the coaches of all of our other sports that are similar in that they play a regular season schedule, but they also have a tournament. And essentially what was decided by our presidents at that meeting at the convention was that starting this year in 2012, all of those sports will determine the Lone Star Conference champion based on the regular season results, as a way to recognize what it takes to make it through the entire schedule and emerge on top. And so it was a big shift for us. As I mentioned, basketball will be that way starting this March. Then this spring we'll have tennis, softball, and baseball. The regular season champion will be crowned the Lone Star Conference champion. And then as we roll into the fall, we'll see the same thing for soccer and volleyball. And then of course there's other sports that either don't have a regular season schedule, such as such as a golf or a track, or they don't have a tournament such as football, so there won't be much change for those sports.
Makes a lot of sense to recognize the entire regular season, though. And moving on, a new initiative, indoor track and field, about a month away, February 19th and 20th.
Yeah, that was another decision for our presidents, which I think is a positive step for the conference. It shows that we are moving forward and we are committed to providing a unique experience for our athletes. Track and field programs have long been successful, but just in the last 5 or 10 years have we really seen an influx of sponsorship. We've gone from having a track meet with 4, 5, 6 teams in the field to now this last year we had 8 men's teams and 9 women's teams, and so it really has been a point of emphasis for the member schools in our conference. And so the piece that's been missing is indoor track and field. Now our coaches said, hey, it's time for us to become a serious track conference, and let's offer indoor track and field as a conference sport. Our president supported that, and so effective with the 2012-13 year, indoor track and field will be recognized as a Lone Star Conference sport. We will have a conference meet and crown men's and women's indoor track and field champions, in addition to what we're doing with outdoor. You mentioned that it's coming up. What's coming up in February, our teams will go ahead and host a conference meet this February. It won't be a conference championship, but it'll serve as kind of a way to get our feet wet and introduce ourselves to running an indoor conference track meet. So we're looking forward to teaming with our coaches, and we're actually going to host that event February 19th and 20th at Texas Tech over in Lubbock. And so we're looking forward to that event, and obviously having indoor track and field as a conference sport starting next year.
Absolutely, and as you mentioned, outdoor track and field already an existing sport, well established here in the Lone Star Conference, and that meet Thursday, Friday, Saturday, May 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Yeah, and that was another little slight change that came out of this most recent round of meetings. Previously, we had approved to host the outdoor track meet at A&M Commerce on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday format, which is what we've been doing for a couple of years. And our coaches in September said, let's take another look at that. With the meet running late into that last night, some of our student athletes weren't getting back until early Monday morning, and then being forced to get out of bed and go take their final exams just like that. And so they said, why don't we consider Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Our presidents took the advice of our athletic administrators and our faculty representatives and have agreed to make that change effective this spring. So the meet will still be at A&M Commerce, but it will be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, May 3, 4, and 5, rather than the Friday, Saturday, Sunday we had previously approved.
Outstanding. And moving on, volleyball, obviously an outstanding tradition in the Lone Star Conference, but some changes to the scheduling and the format of their season.
Yeah, we've had some difficulties in the scheduling for volleyball, and some of that just boils down to the number of teams we have. We have 11 volleyball teams, and making a schedule for 11 teams is not the easiest thing to do. Pile on top of that the Life and the Balance initiatives for the NCAA shortened the season by a week this last fall, and it really was one of the least desirable schedules that we've played. We heard the feedback from our coaches, our student athletes, our athletic administrators and faculty reps have taken the bull by the horns and said, let's do something about this. They recommended to our presidents that we adjust the schedule for next year and play our conference matches basically on a Friday-Saturday format instead of a Thursday-Saturday format, which will allow our student athletes to be in class on Thursday as opposed to being traveling for conference matches. So now it's the same type of schedule that we saw, but the matches will be played on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, and we believe that that will result in less missed class time for our student athletes. It comes with challenges because Friday's already a busy day on campus and in our communities, but we do feel like the important thing is that our student athletes have the opportunity to succeed in the classroom, and so we're going to try this as a Tuesday, Friday, Saturday next fall, and so that schedule got approved in that new format, and we look forward to seeing how it goes.
Very much fits in with the Division II Life and the Balance philosophy. How about other schedules? Looking at those, any changes coming?
Yeah, there's not necessarily a whole lot of changes in the other sports, but at this meeting in Indianapolis, our presidents did approve the schedules for women's soccer and men's soccer for 2012, which is their next season. They did approve the 2012-13 basketball schedule, which is their next season, and they also approved the 2013 baseball and softball schedules. So, ideally, we like to work ahead on our conference schedules and have things set in stone. That way the coaches can go about their non-conference scheduling. Obviously with the membership changes and a lot of the shifting around us with the regions changing, this year we're in the South Central region with the MIAA and the Heartland. Next year we'll be in a region with the Heartland and the RMAC. And so with those type of shifts and trying to sort through all that, we're a little behind where we want to be, but those schedules did get approved, and I know our coaches are excited about now having that as the template and finishing out the rest of their schedules for the upcoming seasons.
Absolutely. And fans should stay tuned all week as a couple of other big announcements coming up here for the Lone Star Conference. This has been another All Access.